Hey, it's your girl Be Real, and I thank you so much for joining me for another moment. In the meantime, I pray that your day has gotten off to an amazing start, and if it hasn't, it's okay. You still got some more time in the day for it to become everything that you hope that it will become. Yeah, man. So today's thought, I'm excited about it, I guess. It's been a real strong realization for me, and I think that it will really help us in our efforts to manifest joy, peace, and confidence in our lives, in relationship with others, and in communion with the Father. Yesterday's thought was basically just saying that we're no longer going to pacify those who have treated us poorly, right? And so today's thought, I believe it kind of continues that, but instead of looking outward, this thought today challenges us to look inwardly at ourselves. So today's thought is simply: assumptions offended you, not them. Okay? Assumptions offended you, not them. Assumptions offended you, not them. So just to bring context to this thought, or just give a little sidebar about this, I'll be completely transparent as usual. That's like my little vow for everything I do. My name is Be Real, and so I kind of think that I was born with this mandate to be real, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, the importance of my transparency. And so today, in thinking about this thought, assumptions offended you, not them, I have to be honest and say that a lot of the offenses that I would carry for years, and even it's something like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've just overcome the whole thing. This is something that I actively work on, but it's my assumptions. I'm the type of person, I overthink everything. Before I will reach out to someone, I have anticipated the entire conversation. When I have, when there's an argument going on or some form of a disagreement with someone that I know or anything like that, before I can respond to the situation, I am the type to just have already played out the full conversation. I already know my intro. I already know what your response is going to be to my intro. And then I know what I'm going to say in response to your response to my intro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think things all the way through down to the concluding finish, just down to the end of it. Okay. I always overthink things. And so sometimes when I like to overthink, like it can be a good thing sometimes because it just means like you're thoughtful, but a lot of times it's bad. And a lot of times my overthinking, it sparks a lot of assumptions. And so sometimes assumptions aren't good. With assumptions can definitely come offense, especially when it's like a personal situation, or it's like, a situation where you can definitely be in your feelings or definitely be in your emotions or in your body. A lot of times I have noticed in my own life that a lot of my strife towards people, a lot of my anger and disappointment, even hurt, a lot of it basically came from my own assumptions. A lot of times we can shy away from having like a real conversation with somebody because a real conversation with someone is awkward. It's uncomfortable. So what we'll do in order to shy away from having this awkward situation, we'll just make an assumption. Like, we'll assume like this person is mad at me, or we'll assume that they don't care about us, or we'll assume that we'll just make these assumptions. And so because of our own assumptions, a lot of times we end up carrying offenses that we should have never been carrying, all because we assumed that someone felt a way about us, or we assumed that they did something, or we assumed that because this person all of a sudden start talking to this person who I have never cared for. Now my assumption is that they're together talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes our assumptions can really get the best of us, and we can end up just carrying unnecessary offenses. And so a challenge of mine all 2019 has been to let go of offenses, and a lot of the offenses are borrowed offenses, like, oh, I don't like you because you did this to my friend, or I don't, I feel a way about you because you looked at me funny when you were with this person, but when you're by yourself, you'll talk to me. Like, it's just, and some of these offenses and some of these things, like, it's not always rooted in, like, false assumptions, but just the assumption period. Like, your assumption can be totally true, but the fact that, like, an assumption is nothing confirmed. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times, the extra weight that we're carrying, the unforgiveness that we're carrying, the bitterness that we're harboring, a lot of this is literally coming from something that hasn't even been confirmed. So when you walk around like that and you have these assumptions and you're carrying these offenses, how can you truly manifest joy when you're carrying offenses based upon your assumptions? How can you truly manifest peace when you're just walking around with these offenses that was brought upon by your assumptions? Like, it's literally impossible to manifest joy, peace, and I would even say confidence when you're, like, living your life based upon assumptions. It's basically just choosing to live a life inside your own head, And so one of the things this year that I would say has been the biggest change for me in 2019 is just that I've just kind of given up on my assumptions and really just understanding that, like, I don't be knowing. Like, I don't be knowing at all, okay? And I think it takes a level of humility to just really admit, like, bro, I don't know. Like, I don't know why he said that. I don't know why she did that. I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know why. Just be honest and say you really don't know, because when you are too arrogant or too proud to say, hey, I don't know, then that's what really fuels you to make assumptions. And like I said, your assumptions, they could be true, they could be false, but you don't know because it's not factual. It's not based upon the truth, So today, I want to keep it simple, and I don't want to just say too much, but I want to just encourage us to rid ourselves of offenses that were brought upon by our assumptions. Like, think about the offenses that you carry in your heart and ask yourself, where did this offense really come from? And a lot of times when you get to the root of it, you'll realize, like, you know what? I made this up. And it doesn't negate your feeling. It doesn't even say that you're wrong for what you feel, but it's kind of silly when you think about it to just be like, no, I'm legit walking around with unforgiveness in my heart because I assumed this about someone, or I assumed this about a situation, And so, yeah, that's what it is. I believe that in order to fully manifest peace and manifest joy and confidence, we have to just get to a point where we're saying, you know what? I don't know. I don't know why I feel like this. I don't know. Like, nothing actually happened for me to feel this way. So, or nothing, nothing that I can confirm. You know what I mean? And so once you really just get down to the root of the thing and just understand, like, I assumed all of this to be true. And like I said, and I know we do the whole thing like, nah, when I feel something, I feel it. I feel it. When I feel it, like, I get that. I'm a feeler I'm a feeler. Like, if I feel something, I'm like, But I also realized and I recognized how much offense I was carrying around based upon a feeling, And it doesn't make sense. Like, at the end of the day, when you're standing before God, and He's asking you, like, bro, why you didn't love this person, or why you didn't treat this person right, or why were you angry all the time? I don't want to be saying to him, like, well, I thought, or, I had assumed that, like, no, like, so if it's like, no, you get what I'm saying? Like, I hope it makes sense, but I just really believe that, our need to manifest joy, peace, and confidence should override our arrogance, or our arrogance to just assume that we're always right about what we feel, So, yeah, man, that's kind of what it is today. I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that it's something that you can begin to practice, just kind of letting go of your assumptions, because assumptions aren't always correct. So yeah, man, that's what it is today. As usual, if you have not followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do that now at B.REEL. If you put REAL, you just won't find me there, so go ahead and follow me at BREEL, BREEL. Also, if you would love to be a part of the ITMT family, where you receive affirmations, updates, and all things Be Real first, even before Instagram, then just text ITMT to the number 31996, and that will get you plugged into the ITMT family. And yeah, I think it's just cool for you to do it anyway. So go ahead and text that right now. But yeah, man, in the meantime, just remember that you are loved, you're chosen, you're beautiful, you are enough, and I think you're kind of dope too. That's what it is, and I will talk to you guys on tomorrow. Bye.